my morning routine. Take wet wipe, clean all your bits.
For my last day in the truck, my last night, we've got snow. Frozen footbox, man. That's gonna take some drying out. All beef hot dogs with jalapeno mustard and tomato ketchup. 5 degrees Fahrenheit, beautiful fire in the middle of Alaska. Welcome back everybody to another camping with Tony from AB Camping. I'm in Alaska, been here 3 weeks. This is the last video in the series. Temperature is minus 30 Celsius. Camped here overnight. Please go check out the last video to see it. We had sausages just now, bit of a walk around, but now it's time to head off. This is the last video in the series, so we'll be heading back into civilization. I'm going to be going off to meet Anne and Brandon on the west coast of the States for my son's 21st birthday. But in the meantime, and that's 5 days away, we've got to get from here, wherever we are, all the way back to Anchorage. It's a long, long way. We will be stopping off for another camp or two on the way back. Got to drop this beast of a truck off, have it checked. Got to clean up, pack up, and hand it all back in decent condition. But in the meantime, we've got some more camping to do in our cabin. It's a bit of a mess. And the bed is up there and it's covered in ice. The whole thing is frozen up there at the foot end. Frozen solid. People have been asking why that is, and this is why. It's fully exposed. So the cold air gets under there and just freezes all of that end. So that's all completely frozen. It's only this bit that's heated here. So that's why it's been cold in bed. But I've got heating. You can hear that cranking. So what we're going to do is pack up now, drive off to find another camp spot. Maybe stop off at the Roadhouse, get a coffee. Had a great apple pie a la mode up there. I think we'll be trying that next. Yeah, and then we'll find a camp spot for the night. I want somewhere secluded like this, that's beautiful. We can go and have a walk around, go and check it out, and gradually make our way back to Anchorage. At first, I'm going to finish my coffee, and then we'll head off. All right, time to pack up. Get it all packed away. Cold metal. Oh, I forgot to put my gloves on. Okay. Oh, that's cold. God. Oh. That was one of the stupidest things I've done. Not put my gloves on when it's negative 30. Oh. It's not getting any warmer either. Okay, let's drive out of here. Whoa. Okay, we're getting out of here. Come on. We're slipping and sliding. I'm just in four-wheel drive high. Scrambling for grip here. I think narrower tires would be better here. Instead of these 12 inches, 10-inch would be better. It's the only time I'll ever say that. There we go. We're out. Out onto the little road. Oh, I need to take my jacket off. I'm burning up. Okay, we're heading off. Gonna go and find camp for the night. I found a spot on my Overlander app. Hopefully we can get to it. I think it's going to be about an hour's drive. I can't remember if Eureka Lodge is on the way. If it is, I'd love to stop off, get another coffee, and a piece of apple pie. So, bring you back hopefully there. Temperature 0 Fahrenheit. It's warmed up a bit. Took my breath away doing all of that. My hands got freezing cold. I've got the heated steering wheel on. Heated seat on full. Oh, it's nice to be in a warm truck. Highway is just up ahead. No studded tires, May 1st to September 15th. All right, here we go. Back on to the highway. The Glen Highway. Oh, it's just been beautiful. I've loved this drive. Really have. Everything about it is stunning. So we'll see you at the next stop. I've got 3/4 of a tank of fuel left. If I can fill up where there's premium, then I will. I think that's Eureka Roadhouse, but we'll see. Anchorage, 263 miles. Glen Allen, 76 miles. Valdez, 189 miles. It's possible I decide to go back onto Thompson Pass just because I love it there so much and see it one last time. I don't know if I'm coming back to Alaska. And Thompson Pass was pretty special. That's where I was stranded for 72 hours at the beginning of this series, the second video. It's on the way to Valdez. But I haven't really spent much time around Glen Allen either. Oh, my face is still numb from doing that tent. Well, I need to warm up a bit and then we can decide what to do. 17 miles to go approximately to where the spots are that I could try and find to park. We'll get there at 1:10 in the afternoon. So that gives us 3 hours of daylight, roughly, to have a look around, decide what to do, set camp up. I think tonight, I'm so exhausted. It's gonna be an early night, definitely. Fire, meal, cigar. I do want to have a place where I can walk around in the trees, maybe, or a river. But beggars can't be choosers. So 16 miles. Oh, and the temperature is still 0. No, that spot was awful. I didn't like the look of that at all. And then the rest of it was snowed in, so I wouldn't have been able to get there anyway. So I'm trying another one, 2 miles up the road here, or 4 miles up the road. Been going quite a bit now. So this, we're going to get there at 1:20. It's now, so 1:23 and it's now 1:17. Temperature is 10 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm getting more and more tired. And I've made a mistake. I lost track of where Eureka Lodge was. It's at Eureka Summit. miles towards Anchorage. It's on the Glen Allen Highway. So I was way off with thinking about that. My brain is just a bit of mulch right now. I'm just losing track of where everything is. I think that's just now getting up to peak exhaustion. I'm okay to drive and everything, it's just I'm just not operating at 100% anymore like it was. And you know, luckily I'm not drinking either, because I think drinking alcohol would be a terrible thing. Right now it says cafe here. Let's see if it's open. Then I can go in, get something to eat. And oh no, that's deserted buildings. What a shame. All right, well, we'll go straight to the campsite. Okay, so I stopped off, got some lunch at Glen Allen. We're off looking for another spot. So far, 4 spots that I've tried to find. They haven't been plowed. No access at all. At this rate, I'm going to end up back at the spot that I camped on the other night, that I had all to myself next to the little river where I went over the bridge. Just not plowed, which is a problem. We'll find somewhere. I just would like to be as far off the highway as possible. Anyway, 6 miles to the next one that we're going to check. Let's hope this one is successful. Right, I'm on this little side road, off of a side road, off of a side road. I'm hoping, according to this map, this has been partially plowed, believe it or not. I don't know if the camera is actually picking anything up. It's a very flat light. But there are tracks here. So people have been here. They might have been snowmobiling here. Okay, so that's not plowed. And you're not allowed past this spot here. No trespassing. That's fine. But this is public access here. So I can park. And it looks like someone else has already done this here. I can park just here. This is obviously, there's someone working there. They must live there. But I could stop just here, I think. I wouldn't be in the way. This is public access road. Oh, I've got someone else coming up here with a jet ski, with a snowmobile right now. I don't know, this seems quite busy. Nope, we'll keep looking somewhere else. Oh, finally, okay, I found somewhere. That was a nightmare. And it's now 3 p.m. I've lost a lot of time. A lot of time. Apparently, oh yeah, there's a beautiful view of a lake here. But it's going to be dark soon anyway. So what I'm going to do is park up here. Give myself a little bit of room to get around the vehicle. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. And I'll show you where we are while we've still got some light. But this is where we're going to stay the night now. The road's here, but this is a teeny tiny little back road. So there's not going to be any traffic. 1 or 2 cars maybe, that'll be it. We're miles and miles away from the highway. So this should be good. Oh, check it out. That's the lake down there. Lake Grazier, I think that was called. I can't remember what it was. Just down there. I bet in summer this is spectacular place to stop. But then there are a lot of trails that are accessible, parking areas that are accessible in the summer. It's just obviously in winter, nothing is accessible. So you see what I mean? I'm in a pull-off area. Loads of room. I'm not going to bother anybody here. Better than being up that driveway next to that private house. That seemed busy. This is absolutely fine, absolutely perfect. Dead quiet, lovely. It looks like they've just had snow here. A dusting. Okay, well, that's it. I'm here for the night. I've still got a bundle of firewood. 2 bundles. There's a possibility I have a fire tomorrow night. I'm probably not going to have one here because I don't know. I guess I could do, but I want a more private place to have a fire. So tonight we'll do a cigar though. So I feel like a cigar tonight. It's quite tired, quite stressed out today. It's going to be a very early night. Very early. I'm so exhausted. All right, everyone. I'll see you at dinner time. And unless something happens, unless I see some animals. Apparently, there's a lot of moose in this area. So, you never know. Moose all the way around the lake. Whether there are wolves, I don't know. But probably are. All right, catch you later. We had the camera cut out. So the camera is struggling a bit. I'm not sure what's going on with the timing out. I think it's because it gets cold. Or it's just a bug and it shuts off. I don't know why. I've got to keep an eye on the screen. I'm not sure where it just cut off then. I think it was only a few seconds. Look at this. How beautiful are these trees like this? Isn't that stunning? I mean, that's frost. It's not really snow. So I'm wearing just a couple of layers. This jacket's good down to -6, -7, something like that. So I couldn't stay out here too long with this. But it's so much milder than what I just came from, where it was -30, and you couldn't have your hands out for more than a few seconds. Like, there's no way I could do this. I'd have to have gloves on. And that's, what, 100 miles away? Not even that. Yeah, that's so frigid. It's crazy. I don't know what temperature you can get frostbite, but I was definitely feeling that. So a couple of things to talk about. Sports. Ipswich Town, my football club, are doing everything they can to not get promoted. They're really screwing up. We'll see where it goes. Even Wrexham are doing well now. And Wrexham might overtake them. That'd be embarrassing. We'll see. If you haven't seen Welcome to Wrexham, then I suggest you watch the show. It's very good. I heard something. I don't know what that was. Formula One, the new cars. All I'm seeing are clips going, saying, "Gosh, they sound amazing now. The new cars." Wow. Honestly, if you think these cars sound amazing, you poor things. You've been deprived of what Formula One cars should sound like that I heard growing up. They sound rubbish still. Absolutely rubbish. Watch old footage. where you had to have earplugs to go to a race. They were insane. These things that we've got now, they're still rubbish. Nice dusting. I definitely don't feel like getting heavy snow anymore. I've had enough of heavy snow. Definitely. I've been through the wars. It's looking good. This is a very convenient spot. I'm glad I didn't light a fire or anything here. Tomorrow night we're doing the fire. And we've got to have a cookout. We've got to do some hot dogs. So that lake down there, there's bound to be loads of animals. Okay, now my fingers are getting cold. Yeah. Now I'm feeling it. Doesn't take long. I'm not going to talk about world events. They're too depressing, and this video is going to come out way beyond the news, sort of April or so. No point. I just want to focus on the trip and what's left of it. So next plans. Oh, my car, my new truck, my Toyota Troopy. Hopefully it was picked up today or is picked up tomorrow. Transported down to Christchurch in New Zealand. And hopefully is about to have the work done on it to convert the roof to a rooftop tent. Now, a few followers have been telling me to look at a channel called Roaming Reckless. A woman who has done the conversion on a Land Rover and a Troopy as well, and uses it. Yeah, I had a look. Yeah, same thing. That's the same company. Thing is, she's sponsored, so gets discounts and things like that. I'm not sponsored by them. I didn't contact them to sponsor me. What are these? Oh, these are quite big prints. I think these are elk. Yeah, I don't do the sponsor thing. So, because I want to be able to criticize if it's rubbish. What on earth has happened here? Is that just someone being silly? Has jumped onto here and then jumped onto there? Because that looks a bit weird. Oh no, actually maybe they're moose prints as well. Oh yeah, moose has walked around and then doubled back somewhere. Huh. I just don't want to have a whole lot of wolves. Yeah, so I'm not sponsored. But I'm very excited to get this work done. I think it's going to cost quite a bit once it's complete. And then I've got to work out what I want to do to the Troopy inside. I really don't want to do much to it. I want to keep it as raw as possible so I can just use normal camping gear in it and sleep in it. If I wanted luxury, then, well, I've got Buddy, my camper van. So they serve two different purposes. I don't want to replace Buddy with the Troopy. The Troopy is to go further, faster, and more rough terrain, where I couldn't take Buddy. But it doesn't mean that I want to duplicate what I've got in Buddy, because I don't. That would be silly. Then I would just get rid of Buddy, and I don't want to do that either. Does everyone here, I want to hear from the viewers. Do you like Buddy? The Buddy camps? I think people do. I think people like that vehicle because it's something they would do. I tell you what, it's getting pretty chilly on my fingers holding the camera. So anyway, the plan tomorrow. Up normal time. I'm going to get an early night tonight, hopefully get some decent sleep. And then we'll head off in the morning after a cup of coffee. I want to stay back up around the Eureka Summit for a night. Somewhere private. That I can then have the fire and cook again. You never know, I might end up going to the same spot I went to before. I'm not sure yet. and then off to Anchorage to drop the vehicle off. And I've got a couple of nights at a hotel to decompress, relax and everything. So when I do meet Anne, I'm fit and ready to go, not tired, not exhausted. And all my gear is packed properly. So that's the plan. So tomorrow we'll head off after coffee. It might still be dark, you never know. And we'll find the next spot and gradually make our way back to Anchorage. I can't believe we got some snow and I didn't see any of it. That's the thing with snow, is you can't hear that it's snowing, and there's no windows in this thing for me to see even. That's the other thing I don't like about this, is there's no windows at all. I would definitely have had window panels fitted to the gull wing doors, or even the back door, just so I could see out. It's just so detached from everything when you're in here. Look, you just don't know what's going on at all. So yeah, I would have glass panels there instead, and definitely have a glass panel on the back door. So you can see out when you're opening the door as well. All right, everyone. Bring you back at bedtime. Well, I'm in bed. I'm so tired. I've definitely given up. Excuse me, sorry. I've definitely given up trying to deal with this frost. Well, I shouldn't call it frost. I should just call it ice now, because that's what it is. Look at that. Look. Right at my feet. Unreal. Look at that. Yeah, well, I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. When that thaws, it's just going to be soaking wet. I've got to remember to take my pad when I'm done with this trip. Oh, the pad has actually saved me. It's formed. The pad and that blanket that they provided, it's formed a good barrier, but if you're going to do this in winter, you're definitely going to need more protection if it's going to be that cold, as cold as I've had it. It just barely gets a chance to defrost. I don't know why these buttons, these rivets are all frozen. I wonder if AluCab, these guys in South Africa, I wonder if they'll ever do an insulated version. That would be pretty cool. I don't know how you would do it. You'd have to have a double layer fabric. I mean, this is meant to be double layer. I don't know how, but it's not. But it does need a barrier. So the foot end is the biggest problem by far. How to heat that. Yeah. Don't know. Or just add some sort of very thick insulation down at the bottom where it just can't penetrate the ice. Just like here, this is insulated. This hasn't really got frosty at all. I mean, a couple of frosty bits here, look. That's frosty. My towel, my blanket was stuck to that actually when I pulled the bed down. It was stuck to this ice. See, that's melted. Look, that's dripping. Look at that. See? That's dripping. That's not leaking. That's the ice that was there has now melted. There, look, that's ice. That's not meant to be white. So, yeah, and there's another one down there. It's white. So I guess even that isn't insulated enough. These temperatures, I don't think they get them like this in South Africa where this is designed and built. I think Alaska could probably come up with their own version of this. Designed for winter. Very difficult though, because not many people are really going out at these conditions and camping anyway. Right, everyone. I'll see you all in the morning. I'm so exhausted. I'm really feeling it now. Just the tiredness. Yeah. Alright, see you in the morning, everyone. Night, everybody. Morning, everybody. My feet got hot last night with my wool socks on, so I took them off. Stupidly. Now I've got cold feet. But, oh, we've really frozen up in here again. Now everything's white again. All the buttons are white. So it's 0 out there, 0 Fahrenheit. It's a constant struggle, but I've got the heat coming up here. Wow, I would love for one night just to have some heat down at the feet. Like a hot water, maybe I should make a hot water bottle, but then it would melt, it would get wet. I can't have that either. I can't win. Oh, I need a coffee. Right, I'm gonna get up. Let's have a coffee. Oh. Oh, look, let's see. So this pad, it's all ice. Very frozen. Because this pad insulates. It's a shame this doesn't fit down the bottom of the bed. But it doesn't. That would be quite a good insulator. I did think about putting that down there, but it just won't curve. So how do you get out of this bed? Well, you have to have a step. This is not... There you go. And I'm out. And then I lift the whole thing up. So I have to organize my bedding so it all fits properly. Socks. So you get your bedding sorted away from the edges, really, like that. Oh, blankets, a bit of a mess. Okay, so it's away from the edges and it will compact down like that, and then lift. And there we go. It's all tucked in. Looking good. Right, I can get dressed and have a cup of coffee. Big, strong cup of coffee. So, my morning routine, morning everybody, is you take wet wipes. I've shown you me having a shower before in Buddy. Take wet wipes and clean all your bits and all your areas. That's right. You take a wet wipe for each area, a couple of areas, underarms, deodorant, the works, body spray. Give yourself a good dousing once you clean yourself off, and you're good to go. I'm sorry I subjected some of you to that, but a lot of people ask. Well, that's what you do. Baby wipes. If they're good enough for babies, they're good enough for me. Now, obviously, I'd rather have a shower, but not an option. So, coffee time, and then let's go and have a look outside. Oh, I don't know what I would have done without my AeroPress. It's made it all so much easier. Less messy than a full-size plunger. Shame my discount code doesn't work anymore for everybody, but AeroPress Go, it does work. Oh, while that's doing that, let's go have a look outside. Have we had any more snow? No. No more snow. Oh, it's chilly. Wow, look at the moon. Gosh, you can see it so clearly. I know you can't. I can't zoom in, but I can see all the craters on it and everything. It's so big.
And now there's some cloud coming over us here. Doesn't feel 0. I think it's at 5 actually. My eyes were off. Yeah, it's I can't make that out. You can see. I think it's minus 14 Celsius and it's 8 Fahrenheit, I think. Lovely and quiet spot. I haven't heard any traffic. Oh, there's the lake down there. I wish there was a way to get to it, but it's all snowed in. No access. Okay, oh, there's a breeze. Right, coffee time. So the plan today, slow drive back. I've got to do all my calculations on the maps again, work out where on earth I am. Because yesterday I was just focused on finding a place before it got dark. I wouldn't mind having some breakfast at that Eureka Lodge. That was very nice there. I liked that little spot. Nice little cafe. And then find camp for the night. I wanted to walk through a glacier, but there's just no access. There is a glacier that I went to last time, but it's in completely the wrong direction. That was cool. My old Alaska series, I went into and under a glacier. I don't even know if you can still do that anymore. I don't know. The glaciers are changing. So when they have these caves, these tunnels in there, obviously they don't last forever. They collapse in and stuff like that. So I don't even know if you can still go and see that. I'm sure you can. I just can't remember the name of the glacier. I think it began with G or something. I don't know. So I'll have a coffee, I'll do some planning, and then we'll head off. And the time now is 20 past 8. Had a good sleep. I'm glad I went to bed early. But yeah, I eventually got some decent sleep. Right. Coffee. Yes. Right, time to pack up. Let's put everything away. Everything's stored in here. Let's put the roof and the bed down. Excuse the arse shot. Wow, I think that's the nicest one I've done yet. I just closed it properly for the first time in ages. All ship shape, all done, perfect. No flappy bits hanging out the sides. All great. Do you know how many times I've smacked my head, my shoulder or whatever on this stupid thing here? This. That is the most annoying feature of this thing. I've got to say,
I love everything else about it except that thing. This is to hold a gas canister, butane gas, to run cooking things off and things like that. Awful height. You get out of the truck and you walk around the corner not looking and you just bang into this. I've done the fuel and walked around the corner and smacked my head into it, because when you're wearing a cap you don't see it and it just protrudes. And here's the other problem with it, and this is quite a problem, is that it protrudes the actual truck. So if you didn't have the tow bar, and they only put the tow hitch on for me because I said I was going to take a snowmobile, but I didn't actually get that opportunity to do so. But if you didn't have that on, this actually protrudes the whole truck. So you could smash that into a wall or something because the camera is low down. So yeah, I don't like that at all. I think I definitely would not have that on my truck. It's a jacket ripper. Right, let's lock everything up. It's all good. The seals have gone on this door now. When you're inside, you can actually see through the gaps here. So I think, whilst it's a great rig, it's just over 2 years old, and it's had a lot of use. I think it needs some maintenance, a bit of a refresh. There's clearly a few issues, like the door doesn't lock anymore. Yeah, so, and the seals need redoing. There's cold air gushing in somewhere, I don't know where. So it just needs a bit of TLC, a bit of maintenance now. It's probably had a lot of people using it. But the biggest problem by far is the frozen foot end, and I don't know how you could deal with that. Except loads of insulation at the foot end, but not having any insulation at all is a major flaw, because this just gets blasted with freezing cold air as you're driving along. So everything just freezes in there. So you go to bed and it's frozen solid. There's just a thick layer of ice in there now. So yeah, that's a problem inside, and it needs proper insulation. If this was my vehicle, I would definitely fix that. But it's a rental, so, you know. Most people are only going to be in it a week, and hardly anyone's ever going to be in these temperatures in it. I don't think they rent this out much in the winter at all. And in spring, summer, autumn, you'll never have that problem. So for the majority of the time they're renting these out, zero issues. The only thing I would say is that I would put windows in. I would retrofit actual glass windows in, just to let some natural light in without having to open these things. And the fact that you can't open and close these from inside, I'd say is again a major flaw in this setup. So I'm not a huge fan of this AluCab thing. The way they've built it, the way they've set it up. Whether there are options available to do all these things, I don't know. But the way this one is, it's okay. It's serving its purpose. But after 3 weeks in this thing, yeah, I'm getting a bit claustrophobic, I have to say, not being able to see out. But if you're just doing a week or 2 weeks in the spring and summer and you can have these things open, lovely. It's got fly mesh, so that brings me to another point. The windscreen mesh stickiness has come away. So insects will get in here. So again, that all needs renewing as well. Right, time to head off. So here's the plan. We're gonna go to Eureka Roadhouse. I'm gonna have breakfast there, or lunch basically. And then we're gonna go back to that same spot on the river where I camped and have my massive fire. I'm gonna do another fire there. I loved that spot, I really did. And this time we're gonna snowshoe along the river, because I think that would be a beautiful place to go. So that's my plan, familiarity. I liked that spot a lot. It was peaceful, and I liked having the river right there, and I want to snowshoe it. But just look at this, look at where I am. These spruce forests are incredible. Covered in frost, thick hoarfrost. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. Oh, Alaska's so vast, and they do a great job with the roads, I have to say. I mean, look at this clear out. It's amazing. So they do a great job considering how vast this place is. Right, my feet are getting cold, my ears are freezing. Got to get in, get warmed up, and we'll go to Eureka and then go back to our camp spot. And we're off. So it's 32 miles to the lodge. Thank you. This is Lake Louise Road, by the way. Oh, heated steering wheel. Oh, it's so good. Oh, and this lake was Crater Lake. There's a sign right there. Lovely. I bet this just looks absolutely incredible the rest of the year when it's not iced and, you know, covered in ice, and you can actually see where you're going. Okay, so 32 miles to the lodge. We're gonna get some food there, breakfast basically, and refuel, then go back to Nelchina River, to that camp spot. Hopefully I'll get it to myself again. I think we've got some snow coming in, not much. It's possible, very possible, I do 2 nights at this spot this time. And then on the final day, just leave and go straight to Anchorage, go to my hotel, empty this out, and then drop this off. It's possible, because it's not really a massive distance from Nelchina to Anchorage, and I don't really want to camp near Anchorage. So we'll see. It is possible I do 2 nights, but we'll work that out. I might get fed up with the place, you never know. So, see you at Eureka Lodge. But look at this. Look how beautiful it is. What a lovely road. Lake Louise Road. And it was very small. Very quiet. I've got a lot of rattling going on here. It's quite annoying. But I've got so much stuff in here. Whoa! Gosh, you touch the sides of the road and it just pulls you. And this is the Glen Allen Highway. Whoa! I'm uploading on my computer. All these videos, I have to do this. Edit, upload, edit, upload, edit, upload. Because I can't have any work to do once I meet Anne and Brandon. That's holiday, pure personal holiday time. No work, and I need to get it all done before then. We're off. Let's go. Eureka Lodge. Biscuits and gravy, proper with massive hash brown. Look at the size of this. Cup of coffee. Eureka Roadhouse. What an awesome menu. Might have to stay here tomorrow night. All fueled up. And I've had some food. I had breakfast. Sausage and gravy with hash. Oh, it was massive. Had a couple of cups of coffee. That was lovely. I definitely recommend the Eureka Lodge to come and hang out and have a meal and a cup of coffee. Right, I need to find where it was that I camped last time. We're probably going to camp there again, but there's one spot I want to try beforehand just to see what it's like. Otherwise, we'll go back to the spot where I had the big fire and possibly do some snowshoeing up the river. Let's see, the time is now 11:40, so I've got time to do that. Right, lovely. I like it here a lot. Eureka Lodge. And they've got accommodation here. You never know. Could stay here tomorrow night. Right, let me go and find this spot. Well, I checked out that spot. Couldn't get to it. Again, the road was blocked. So I'm coming back to the spot I absolutely loved. Next to the Nelchina River. Fingers crossed there's nobody there. And I can camp there. And then we can just chill out, go for a snowshoe, and then later have dinner and a fire here. But we'll see. It's a Monday, or is it Tuesday? I can't remember what day it is. And I've noticed there's a lot of snowmobilers out. So this is a snowmobile route here. So we'll just see if there's anyone else parked here at all. I don't see anyone. I think we're going to be in luck. Gosh, a lot of people have been snowmobiling here. There were no tracks. I don't think there were any snowmobile tracks when I came here a few days ago. So clearly it's been used since then. Anybody here? Nobody here. All right. Oh, and look, someone's had a fire. Someone's had a fire near where I had it, but right in the middle of the road. Not pushed up against a bank. That's very odd. Right, but I'm back at the same spot. And yes, there have been snowmobilers here. It's been active, busy. That's fine. Nobody here now. And it's a weekday. I'm assuming that was just because it was the weekend. So I've got it all to myself again. Lovely. Yeah, people have had a fire here as well. Maybe I set the trend, you never know. Well, I think what I'll do is I'll pull forward a bit just to, in case someone comes while I don't want to be blocked in. And then we'll do our snowshoeing. I think we got time to do an hour's walk up the river. I just want to see what's up there. Maybe you see some animals, you never know. Bring it back on the snowshoes. Right, suited and booted. Crescent moons. I think these are called Denali Expedition 17s. Someone said, left a comment saying they're not very big. They don't look very big. These are the biggest that they make. Anything smaller, and they wouldn't cover my weight. No one around. It's all good. It's not as cold today. When I say it's not as cold, I mean it's 5 Fahrenheit. Look, even it, look, they don't help in this fluffy snow. Well, I guess they help a little bit. So this is the river, the Nelchina River. It looks like someone's tried to do a spot of ice fishing here. Oh, they have. They've got a chainsaw out, they've cut through the ice. Holy moly! Good Lord! That's almost a meter thick. Look at it, it's flowing. So they've done ice fishing. Like, this is a huge thickness. This ice, you haven't got any perspective, I know, but I'm telling you, that's 1, 2, it's over 2 foot, it's 2.5 feet thick ice. Wow. That's impressive. And the water's flowing underneath there. I can see it bobbing up and down. So they've done some ice fishing here. Awesome. Oh, well, now I feel more reassured walking on this river, knowing that it's almost a meter thick. Okay. I'm going to walk up here. Actually, it'd be quite easy to walk in their tracks. I think that'll be easier. Wow, you know what would be really easy is if I had a snow machine. A snowmobile. Then I could blast for miles. But I mean, as much as I love them, I do love the power and everything, and it's so easy. Hang on, let me bring you back. I've got to set this up. As I was saying, I had to tighten my boots up, put my snow skirts up, stop the snow going in. As I was saying, I love snowmobiles, but you miss out on the sounds of the animals. They're very noisy, snowmobiles. Very, very noisy. and I really want to see some animals. And they hear the snowmobiles coming, and they must bolt. I think I could walk this without, because they've packed this down. I don't think I even need their snowshoes on. It's only if you venture off of their track, like this, that you would have big problems, I think. Although I can see that their footprints are sinking quite a bit. See? Oh man, did I say it wasn't as cold? Maybe the temperature is a bit colder than I thought it was. I just need to get moving. Ah, there's other snowshoe tracks here as well. Okay, so it's not just me. These, you see, that's a snowshoe track right there. Others have done it. Oh, come on, how pretty is this? I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, it's colder than I thought it was. Much colder than I thought it was. But that's okay. Got warm gear on. This Stella Parker is good down to -20 Celsius. And we're at what? I think it said 9 Fahrenheit in the car. But that's just because it's been sitting in the sun. I think we're back down to closer to 0 again. 0 Fahrenheit. -18 Celsius. It definitely feels that. These gloves struggle in this temperature. I could have worn my comfy mitts, but I think I'll need those tonight when it's really cold. It'd be a lot quieter if I walked off this compacted path, but look, it's like a second I do that, that's crazy. That's a lot harder. So obviously the snow is deeper than this. If you were backcountry snowshoeing, you'd have no choice but to do this. It's still a heck of a lot easier than not having them. Like, that's not an awful lot of effort because you glide through like skis. So I'm literally skiing through the snow. So it's not so bad. But that's a lot easier. It's just noisy. Right, I'm gonna see how far I can get up here. See if I see any animals. Fingers crossed. See a moose or something. That would be nice. I don't think I'm gonna see much while I'm yapping though. So I'll just carry on as far as I can. I'm following massive moose print. I've been going a mile. And there's, this huge moose print in front of me. But I think it's from yesterday. And they've been walking, I think they like these snowmobile compacted tracks. It's easier for them to walk, way less energy required. You can see where they stray off a bit. But otherwise, they're just walking the track as well. So they obviously like these compacted tracks to walk on. They use a lot less energy to get to where they need to go. So many tracks, I just don't know what they all are. I'd be a rubbish tracker. But these moose prints are old here and enormous. Woo! I think we've got some weather coming in tonight. or tomorrow morning. I think we've got some snow coming in. Not a lot, only dustings. I think the winter snow events are over now. Don't think they've got much more forecast. Down south it's just rain, rain, rain. I saw that Whittier and Seward, it's still raining. I'm so glad I left when I did, because the forecast said it could be rain or snow, but it's just been rain. And someone commented that in Anchorage it's a bit of a heat wave at the moment, because it's barely 0 Celsius. Whereas here, just a couple of hours away, 3 hours away, it's 0 Fahrenheit. Oh, lovely. These are fresh tracks. I don't know what they are. Don't know what that is. Gosh, I don't know what anything is. Just moose. The moose tracks are so enormous. You can just see the difference. Oh, this is why they like trails. You can just walk on top. Well, I'm going to keep going. Work off that breakfast. Build up an appetite for dinner. Skip lunch. Liquid lunch, coffees and zesties. And if I see any animals, I'll be sure to hit record. Unless, of course, I'm running. I might still hit record. Hey, you know what? I've forgotten my bear spray. Stupid. I keep forgetting. I mean, there are no bears. They're asleep. But moose and wolves. Apparently there's no mountain lions here either. Especially not in winter. But I see the locals actually out snowmobiling. I haven't seen any of them with bear spray in winter. They just don't bother. If there's a moose, they just back up or stand behind a tree. They don't spray the moose for some reason. I guess, yeah, they know they're locals. Onwards. Oh, now hang on. This looks ropey. What's happened here? I can hear it. I can hear the water. Wow, I can actually hear it flowing under here. Listen. So there's been a melt. They've driven straight through it though. I don't like this. It must be flowing so fast that it doesn't have very thick ice on. But how thick is the ice? Well, it's got to be thick enough that there's a moose track there. If it's thick enough to take a 1-ton moose, it must be thick enough to take me. Oh, that's not shifting at all. Wow. Okay, yeah, that's very thick. I can just hear it, that's all. There's a lot of water flowing under there. Very loud. Bubbling up through there. Oh, that was a bit unnerving. I had to lift my beanie up there just to hear it. And here, look. Now, obviously, this ice is incredibly thick. But people have been walking on here. There's a footprint there. These are people walking on this. That's moose print. They obviously trust the ice. It must be very, very thick, but you can just hear the water through it, that's all. Which is very freaky. I'm no expert. I don't live here. I don't know. But I'm just following where the ice prints are because it's obviously the safest bit. And if it's thick enough to take a snowmobile, then it must be okay. Just freaks me out a little bit, that's all. Okay, that's moose. Wow, moose and elk. I'm walking in elk tracks now. There, loads of them, back and forth. This is a popular route for the elk. Oh, wouldn't it be amazing to see some elk, caribou, something? That would be lovely. I'm still holding out to see another animal. I haven't seen much at all. I've seen one moose, a sea otter, and that's it. And camped surrounded by wolves, but I couldn't see the wolves. Oh. I would love. Oh no, and I've seen the caribou, the reindeer, up at Dead Horse as well. But always from the comfort of my truck. I want to see them in the wild while I'm walking. Where are all the animals? The thing is, it's such a vast area. Oh, look. Elk scat? Yeah. I think that's it. Elk poo. So they are around here, and they're obviously feeding around here somewhere on something. Are they feeding on willow? Are they feeding on these things? Because they're chewed off at the ends. So they're chewing the ends off of these. What are these? Willow? Must be. They're chewing the bark off the willow. I can see it, look. There, look. See that? They've chewed the bark off the nibs there. I'm assuming that's willow. Now, I heard that willow bark has aspirin in it. If you chew enough of it, it has that medicating effect. I'm walking across some sort of pond here. Again, I'm staying to the tracks because it could obviously take the weight of the snow machines. I'm not going to venture off. But those big elk have walked out into the middle of that because there's scat there. Oh my word, these are big tracks. That's moose. That's massive. Well, and they've walked out onto that, so it must be very, very thick ice. I'm panicking for nothing here. It's probably a meter thick. It just freaks me out a bit hearing it. Yeah, they're feeding in here, look. Oh, and that's moose scat. There we go. That's moose. Okay, I think that's moose. Looks like moose. So they're definitely around. And one of them's had a pee here. Well, I'll carry on going. Right, mile and a half. This is as far as I'm going to go. It's quite a walk. I don't like this. I'm sorry, I just don't like it. Call me chicken, but this doesn't seem like a good idea walking out onto this. I don't know why. It's probably just windswept, and it's probably a meter thick ice. I just don't like the look of it, the visual. But I can see it's very thick, but I can see it's gone through melt phases. This has definitely had a melt and then refrozen again. But they've clearly, the snowmobilers don't care because they've driven right across it. And those are heavy machines, but they're moving fast and there's probably more than one of them. I'm by myself. Doesn't make any sense to risk going any further up there. You can see where the moose and elk have come in and fed on these branches. It would be lovely to watch and film it. But whatever happened here happened a day or two ago. So, yeah, what causes that? Just wind? I don't know. This, yeah, it sounds, gosh, they've been really active here, the animals. Amazing. And we're losing sun now. It's already going down. So the wise move is head back to the warmth of my truck. Put a coffee on. Have a zesty. Snowmobiling would be so much fun to explore this whole river. But I don't think it's safe to go by yourself very far on a snowmobile. It seems highly risky. What if you roll? What if anything happens? Safety in numbers, I think. So, maybe that's just me being overly cautious. Back to the truck. We'll put a coffee on. This is a bit freaky. Listen to this. Whoa! Wow. So there must be a giant slab of ice here. You can see where it's broken. And then water flowing under there. It's so loud. And there's a huge crack there. Well, it's not a crack, it's just where a pond is sort of formed. So how does that happen? I don't know. But that's unnerving. It's so loud. Yeah, it's weird to think that I'm walking on an actual flowing river. I can hear chipmunk up there in front of me. Yeah. Spooky. I'm not walking any closer to it. Look, it's all the way down here. There must be some big boulders in this river, and that's what causes that to happen. Gosh, it's so loud. This must flow a lot. The Nelchina River. Maybe someone can Google it. Find out how much it flows, how big it is. We're almost back. What a beautiful, beautiful day. But this seems to be coming in, this weather pattern. I got hot. I mean, it's freezing, but I got hot in all my gear. I don't know if I'm frosty. Feel frosty. What does everyone think of this DJI Osmo Action 6 footage? I'm filming in 8K. Be interested to know what people think. Seems quite clever to me. Such a little compact camera. seems to do quite a good job. Filmed pretty much all of this trip on this camera. And I've got another one in the windshield of the truck that aims forward. And then I splice the footage together. That's how you see me inlaid in the forward view. Woo. Right, almost back at the truck now. Oh, actually we can get to it. How deep is this? Ooh, yep. Still getting through it. Wow, deep. Impossible to do this without snowshoes on. Let me just see if I can show you. Angle this down a bit. Oh, that's so deep. But the shoes are working quite well. As deep as this is, there's just no way you could do this otherwise. But exhausting. Gosh, and there I am. So I'm gonna stay here the night again. Lovely spot. Hopefully we'll whoa! Sunk. Got to pay attention when you're doing this and keep your feet as close together as possible so you don't do that and sink. Someone's snowshoed over there, so let's get in their track. God, it's deep. Here we go. Right, I'm in somebody else's tracks here. Somebody with small feet. Maybe Luke from Outdoor Gear Review is here. He's pretty small. Okay, here I am. Someone's used the outhouse as well. Oh, it's just so peaceful. Right, I'm gonna go in and have a coffee. Just chill out in the sun. I might set my chair up here in the sun and have my coffee. Gonna make a mocha. Well, I tell you what, you get hot walking, and then the second you stop, it's freezing cold. My hands are already getting numb. I've only had them out of the gloves for a minute. Man, it's incredible how quickly it gets. You feel it. Oh, that's better. Oh, yeah. I'm cheating, having instant coffee. Nescafe Gold Espresso Intense Velvety Crema. It's actually not bad. And a Swiss Miss hot chocolate. Should do the job. I'm going to set my chair up and sit in the sun. Oh, my beard, it's so frosty. Okay. This chair is very easy to use. Haha! Check it out. Oh yeah. It just has a tendency to want to fall backwards. You've got to balance it out by putting your feet out forwards. Oh, come on. Oh, here we go. This thing's so quick. This switch. Excellent. And no, I'm not going to stir it. I'll just swirl it with the lid on. All right, let's get to the front of the truck and sit in the sun before we completely lose it. This is the life. Oh, check it out. Oh, this is my reward. These insulated jeans, the Carhartts and the Wranglers, oh gosh, they're amazing. Such a simple concept, and yet look completely normal. You'd never tell they were insulated. I'm listening to all the birds, chipmunks, lovely. Cheers, everybody. Right, time to pop the roof up. Gloves on. Not making that mistake again. Easy. Ah, just like that. Home sweet home. Time for the fire. And then for dinner, I think something simple. Hot dogs. What have I done wrong here? Oh, I think my chair was frozen. It's not even that cold now. What's the temperature? It is... Okay. It's 5 degrees Fahrenheit. So this is the last fire we're going to be having on this trip. So let's make it a doozy straight away. I want this thing roaring straight away. I've got my bear spray with me this time. Probably a bit late now, but you know, whatever. Okay. Yeah, I could do with more firewood, but That's okay. This'll do it. Oh, I've been sitting in there, toasty warm. Just relaxing, researching next spot. It's a hard life. Yeah, so I'm going to use all my fire lighters up. I don't need them. Okay, let's try not to burn my hood this time. All right, check it out. Oh man, that's cold already. Oh. So I'm going to sit on my kangaroo skin, go back and check my second video. You'll see, this guy that I helped push his vehicle out got stuck. Gave me a kangaroo skin of all things. Oh, I might as well burn this. Oh, that's a fire. Look at that go. I tell you, the firewood here is so good compared to what we get in New Zealand. Let me bring you over here out of the smoke. Must be a slight breeze. Is that better? Oh yes, that's going to give off some great heat. Okay, so I need my stove. I've got some Hempler's classic beef wieners. Now these are proper sized big things. You don't want small wieners. Fact. Okay, this table is kind of stupid because it's almost impossible to get in and out without knocking stuff off. So I'm going to have to try very carefully to do this. Okay. Put the wieners in, let them boil for 5 minutes. We're all good. they fit perfectly in there. These things are absolutely massive. Hot dog buns. These are already cut. Easy. So we just need this to boil for 5 minutes and we're all good. Oh. Oh, yes. Oh. Oh, it's just so lovely having fire. Makes such a huge difference to everything. Lovely. And I'm gonna have hot dogs. Right, as soon as they're ready, we'll feast. Oh, and there you have it. 2 all beef hot dogs with jalapeno mustard and tomato ketchup in 5 degrees Fahrenheit with a beautiful fire in the middle of Alaska. Oh, bon appetit, everybody. Mm. Oh, yum. Wow. They're really good. Much nicer than the first ones I had. Mmm. Mm. I'll bring you back for a cigar. Oh, just doing a little hot chocolate. Bit of Swiss Miss. We're going to have a Don Tomas Classico. It's a supermarket one. I'm not sure where it's from. Oh, you try lighting a cigar in these temperatures. It's freezing. Oh, need to get over by that fire. I wish this chair had a little table on the side so I could cook on it. And, you know, boil water on next to it and stuff like that. That would be handy. This gas is now running out. It's on its last legs. I've still got 2 gas canisters left. But I probably won't need most of what I've got left. I'll give to the company because they'll use it all. My floor, so I've spilt some water here and it's freezing. Even though I've got the heating on, everything down below the heater level is freezing solid. So the floor is now frozen. There's ice everywhere. Come on. This would boil much quicker in warmer temperatures. Oh, here we go. We're pretty much there. It's just because it's so cold and it's freezing all the ice around the bottom. It's freezing to the bottom of the truck. I think the MSR, actually the jet boil fuel is probably better, I think, but we'll see. Okay. Little wiggle. There we go. Oh, just right. Just right to drink straight away. Oh, let's close that. One of my bear spray. Whoops. Oh no. Damn. Oh, what an idiot. This thing didn't lock. Oh, well, that's all going to freeze. Oh no. Oh, it's just such a mess in there now. Honestly, it's going to take ages for them to clean this up. Oh, that's nice. Right. Let's warm up by the fire. Oh. Gosh, my fingers are so cold. Oh, this fire is so nice. So this is probably the last cigar time in Alaska. Can't see myself doing one tomorrow night without a fire. And tomorrow night, I just don't know where I'm going to be, where I'm going to be staying, what I'm going to be doing. I just don't know. We're right at the end now. I've still got to go over the costs of everything, but I will discuss those. I might put that in a separate clip in the end of this video. Actually, when I get to the hotel, I'll work it all out and then tell you what it all cost. But I think I want to give her a review of what I've thought of this trip versus last time in Alaska. Number one thing I'd say is the ability of this truck versus the van that I had last year. This has given me so much more confidence to drive long distances in all conditions. I think for winter camping, I would never rent a van again. Just wouldn't do it. Unless it was some souped up four-wheel drive Sprinter on steroids. I'm not going to do it. I would always go for a 4x4. Saying that, I've really missed having windows. It's like a prison cell in there. Now obviously in spring and summer, autumn, you're not going to have that issue. But saying that, you still got to go outside to open the doors. But in spring and summer, you can open the top up and open these windows up at the top, and that lets light in up there. But not down below. You've got to come outside and open everything. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And in winter, it's like a prison cell in there. It really is. You have no idea what's going on outside at all. The heater is so loud, you just don't know what's going on. And that's the other thing, this Webasto heater, don't like it. The fact that it's a thermostat only, and it doesn't have a blower control, very annoying. And the app, well, you've got to be on the American App Store to be able to find the app. You can't get it otherwise. Too many flaws, too many problems with that. The fridge, the Dometic fridge, I've had this problem with Dometics everywhere. I don't like them. Their compressor uses too much power to start up. I don't like them. Give me isotherm any day, hands down. I've got isotherm in the truck, and I've got a Dometic in Buddy. And I can tell you, the only one I have problems with that has an error is the Dometic. The isotherm just works. Every time works, no errors. Uses less power than the Dometic. Yeah. The red arc system inside is okay. I think there's a lot of bugs in the software for the electrical system. Keeps flicking on and off and changing all its settings and stuff like that. The lighting in there is okay. It's not bad. But the heating is a nightmare. Yeah. It's either full blast or not at all. It's crazy. Which brings me to the seating in there. I mean, I wouldn't want to be in there with two people. Just no way. No way. It's very uncomfortable. And those cabinets, those goose gear cabinets, awful. Can't stand them. I do not like the goose gear cabinets at all. Are they tough and rugged? Yes. But the bolts are coming out of them, the screws. They're not fixed in properly. They trap dirt everywhere. You need a vacuum cleaner to clean the sides out. The dirt gets in all over the place. And I just don't think they're particularly nice or handy to get to. I don't like the catches. I don't like how you have to dig around to find stuff. No, I would do it all differently. The roof tent. AluCab. Now, the funny thing is, I'm actually getting an AluCab fitted. So by the time this van comes out, you'll probably know my Troopy will have this AluCab thing fitted on the top, the roof conversion. No insulation whatsoever. Terrible. Frozen feet. Absolutely frozen solid. Which means I'm going to have to customize mine and do some work on it to fully insulate it. And maybe get a liner for it inside. Like an inner for the tent. I don't get the temperatures that we get here in Alaska. In New Zealand, we don't get those temperatures, so I probably would never run into that problem. And I have taken it to the extremes here. But if you're going to rent out a product in the extremes, then it's got to be able to handle the extremes. And that is not fit for purpose the way it is right now for the extremes. So I'd say there's a lot of work to do on that. But again, it's all a compromise because I'm in a truck and not in a purpose-built van. But I had to balance it though with the fact that the truck is so capable. So capable. It's a massive unit, a beast of a thing, on incredible tires, which probably need to be refreshed now. On the ice, it's a bit tricky. You've got to stay in four-wheel drive just all the time. You can't go into rear-wheel drive. So, if I had the option of doing it again in this, with this setup, versus a van, a normal van, I would do this any day. It would have to be a very special configuration of a van for me to do it. And I'll tell you right now, they just don't rent them out. You can't rent them. You can't rent from a company a souped up 4x4 Sprinter van with all the bells and whistles for these sorts of conditions. You can't be done. Well, I haven't seen it, and I researched. This is the most capable vehicle I could find. So that's why. I was willing to put up with the other stuff to have this vehicle. And it's paid off. I've got to places I couldn't have got to in a van. Quicker, more efficiently, and safer. So, all being said, it's a rental. This is not their primary market this time of year. They probably rent it once or twice at this time of year. It's for the rest of the year. So, for those seasons, this thing's awesome. It's an awesome piece of kit. I mean, I would just leave those gull wings open the whole time. And just have the fly mesh. That's it. It's bear proof, I guess. Having those gull wings down. But saying that, I still like windows. I want to see out. You can't even see out the windscreen. You can't see out anything. So, I would have windows put in the canopy. I just would. I'd want to see out. What else? That's pretty much it, really. Listen to that heater. It's just running constantly. My heater doesn't make this much noise. In Buddy, I turn it down and it's quiet. It's nice. This thing is so loud. This Wabasto. I think it's a 4 or 5 kilowatt heater. It's ridiculously too hot for this van. I'll go over what I thought of the rest of the trip, the Alaska things I've seen and done this time on the next at the end of the video when I go over the costs. But I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. The time has flown by, honestly. I've been so busy. I've done so much. It's been great. And as a YouTuber, having to edit these things on the road and upload on the road has been pretty difficult. Especially cooped up in this little space in here. Not being able to see out. It's quite depressing. You come out like, oh my god, it snowed. Like yesterday, I didn't even know it snowed. So, there it is. Alright everyone, I'm going to enjoy my cigar now and this fire. Bring you back at bedtime. Thanks for coming. Oh, we're close to the end. This fire is so hot now. It's crazy. Look at the mark it's making here. There's a gravel pit under here. It's just melting and drying everything. Lovely. My feet are now, they're warm. My legs are toasty. Right, yeah, bring you back. Oh, this is a beautiful, beautiful fire. Oh, it's late. Definitely time for bed. Another frozen bed. Another night with frozen feet and ice everywhere. I mean, it's nowhere near as bad as it was. But it's still... The bottom of the bed is still completely frozen. I don't think there's any way to defrost that whatsoever except pull it all out. But then it's going to get wet. This whole bed needs to be taken out in their garage, opened all up, take all the bedding out, the mattress, everything, open this thing right up and put a dehumidifier and heater in here or something. I think that's the only way to deal with it. It's just so much ice down there now. It's impossible. It's crazy. I mean, could do with a thicker duvet as well, to be honest. This is an average thickness quilt. I'm actually surprised at the bedding. I thought it would have been better. Maybe they assume people will bring sleeping bags. I could sleep in my -60 sleeping bag. But then I'd be boiling hot and I'd have to turn the heating off, which means everything in here would freeze. I can't win. I just can't get this thing set up right. Ideally, if you owned it, you would just have the perfect bedding and some insulation for the bottom there. I've got so many great ideas for how I'm going to do this for mine. It's going to be very different. And one thing about this that I've got to say is this is going to be way wider than the Troopy, because I'd say the Troopy is probably going to come up to about here, or maybe here. So it's got probably half a foot wider than what the Troopy will be, I think, because the Tundra is massive. This is a huge vehicle. I also found out that they do sell the Tundra now in Australia. Yeah, you can buy it in Australia, which means you could buy it on Australia and ship it to New Zealand. But in Australia, in Australian dollars, you're looking close to basically $200,000. Now, I don't know what that is in US, but it's probably like 150,000 US or something for a Toyota Tundra. Ridiculous prices. Whether it was a special conversion that they did just for Australia, I don't know. And that's why it's so expensive, I have no idea. But you can officially buy it from Toyota now. That's crazy that it's just so expensive for the same vehicle. And it's not that great a vehicle, I'll be honest. It's an F-150 or a Chevy Silverado. It's got a Toyota badge on it. And it's probably a bit more reliable than those. And it is. I read up. It is more reliable than those. But it lacks in every single other way. So it lacks in capacity, towing, all sorts. So you miss out a lot and you're paying more, but you're getting reliability. Anyway, I'm not interested. I've got a Troopy. I'm happy. I can't wait to get in that thing. All right, everyone. I'll see you in the morning. Night, everybody. Another frosty night. Alright, everybody, time is now 20 to 9. It's so dark in here, you just never know what time it is. It took me ages to get sleep, hours. I came to bed, it was freezing cold, as you know. My feet froze instantly. And then I remembered I had down booties right here in my backpack. Oh, they saved me. Absolutely saved me. This is how, let me show you how I'm dealing with the completely frozen foot end of the bed. Down booties on top of merino wool socks for the win. Toasty as anything. These are my Outdoor Vital down booties. I'm so toasty with these on. But yeah, I had to get up and put them on because I just tried and I couldn't. I mean, come on, that's not normal what I'm dealing with here. This ice. That's crazy.
There's going to be all sorts of suggestions. I guarantee it. Tons and tons of suggestions of what I should do and how I should fix it and blah, blah, blah. It's a rental. I've got limited stuff with me. People are going to say sleep with your head at the other end. You can't. I can't do that. I can't have my head down that end. And I can't close this thing because I need as much heat coming up here as possible to warm this up. Believe me, if I close this like this, I freeze. Oh my gosh, look. Look at the ice. This is no joke. And it's 0 outside, okay? 0 Fahrenheit. So yeah, I'm sure there'll be a lot of suggestions of what I could do. But honestly, I don't have time or the patience now to do any of them. And it's a rental. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I have no gear to be able to do anything with them. I could just shove my sleeping bag down there maybe, but it still won't help because there's ice everywhere. The heating, there's no duct. I can't duct it up into this corner either. It's fixed in the wall. I'm going to answer all the questions now. Let's get it over and done with, shall we? There's no duct. I can't do it. I can't have a gas heater down at my feet. That's ridiculous. It will fall over. And if I do melt it, it's going to get drenched. I'm just in a frozen coffin. That's basically what I'm in. Yeah. So anyway, that's what it is. I recommend if you're going to rent this thing in the middle of winter, you 100% need to have some mega insulation installed down the bottom there in advance. Not just a little pad. The pad has helped me a lot. But you'd need way more than this pad for these conditions and these temperatures. This pad is only really meant to be used down to... well, I don't even think it's meant to be used down to 0 Celsius. There's only so much the pad can do. Right, let's get up and have a coffee and look outside because, well, let's have a look here. Because it's almost 9 a.m. There we go. That's one handy thing about this tent actually is you can just open this and look out. I should just stay up here the whole time instead of sitting down below, but there's no seat up here. Oh, that's cold. Fire's completely out. Wow, that's so cold. Oh, it's bitter. It doesn't look like it's snowed at all. It's very overcast. And it is meant to snow today. Wow, that's so cold. Woo! Holy moly. When you open that, just lean out. Ugh. No wonder the tent's frozen. Oh, it's a winter wonderland. Alright, I'm going to get up and put a coffee on. Gosh, let's close this thing. Look, it needs double layer like this. This flap here. You see here it says it's double layer. Interesting. It actually is double layer. Huh. Okay, wait a second. I got this wrong. It's not single layer, it is double layer, look. I don't know if you can tell. So it is a double layer tent. Is it double layer at the back? Because I don't think it is. Oh, it is. It's double layer at the back as well. Okay, so all this time I've been thinking it's single layer, but it's not. It's double layer, and it still doesn't really help. Oh, that explains why the door was leaking. Okay, we're getting there. After 3 weeks of being in this thing, I'm starting to understand what's going on now. Okay, remember, so a couple of videos ago, my door, both doors were leaking. Water was coming in. That's because the door is a single layer with mesh. The rest of it is double layer. Okay, so it is double layer. Okay, that's one thing, I guess. But it's not going to help in these conditions still, because that double layer is not insulation. That's just to make it more water resistant, more waterproof.
because there's no insulation in this double layer, which is why it's frozen everywhere. All right, well, at least I understand now why they say double layer. There is 2 layers. It doesn't make any difference, except for waterproofness. All right, everyone, coffee. Well, I've got my coffee. Let's go outside and have it. Oh. Oh. Silence. It really feels like it's going to snow. It's so overcast, so thick. And that's the forecast. The forecast is snow. Oh, that first sip of coffee. It's actually instant. I'm actually having Nescafe Gold, intense espresso thing. And you know what? It's not bad. Not bad at all. This is the river. It's the silence. It's incredible. I'm next to, well, not next to, I'm 100 yards away from a highway. It's so quiet here. I bet in summer it'd be a lot busier. So someone actually turned up last night. Not too late, about 7 p.m. and turned up on a snowmobile. Had just driven here. Ridden here. Came down here, up the river, and then 10 minutes later came back. So yeah, this is part of a snowmobile track, I guess. Route. It's a shame I never got round to doing it. I tried, I really did, but the company that I spoke to, I'll be honest, were a bit crap and a bit useless and didn't really try to help, and were too lazy to help me get one set up. They just didn't sound like they wanted the business at all. I can't remember what they were called. They were based in Girdwood. I had so many backs and forths with them. But it was just like, we got this to do, we got that to do, I don't know, it's a lot of effort. Okay, forget it, don't worry. You know, some companies go out of their way to sort things out, you'd have thought. But he was basically saying that, the season's over. It's like, it's the beginning of February. And they're calling it. Because they don't have any snow where they are. And they can't be bothered to move their operation up here because they hadn't planned for it. Companies wonder why they struggle. Why they're always in debt, or why they go bankrupt, or why they have to shut down. It's because they don't make the effort. So, I wanted to pay full price for a private use of the vehicle to bring up here and do it, blah, 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 and they just couldn't be bothered. It was just too much hassle for them. So anyway, is what it is. You can't get the staff. Come on, I mean, this is not a hardship, I have to say. For van lifing, okay, I don't have a majestic sweeping view, but I am surrounded by this. And it is lovely, and it is peaceful. And I do love this. There's not going to be any view today, anywhere, because it's so overcast. So I've got to make a decision today what to do. Do I be a real van lifer and just sit here for another day? Do some work, do some editing. Just relax, don't do anything, just chill. See if it snows. Have a dinner here tonight, and then tomorrow we're done, head off into Anchorage. And get ready to head back, or to head off to go and see Brandon and Anne. So I've got to work out whether I stay here another night, because I don't know if I'm going to find better than here right now. And I think I should stay where I'm happiest. So this would be my third night here, because I did a night the other day. And I'm just comfortable here, happy here. Seclusion, the quiet, and the beauty of the snow. And if it does snow, it's going to be so pretty. And I haven't had any actual snowfall for a few days now. Proper snowfall. We'll see. So maybe I'll hang around here for another night. But I'll let you all know. I need another breakfast. Another breakfast. I'm not going to have breakfast. I'm so full from last night's meal. I'm going to have another coffee. And I'm just going to take this all in and just relax a bit. Pontificate. Right, it is lunchtime, is it? It's 11:30. I've got a little surprise for you. Come and have a look. It's snowing! This is what we like to see. You know, I'd actually be happy, because this is my last day in the van. I'd actually be quite happy if this was heavy snow and that they got the forecast wrong. So I've got the engine running at the moment just to top up the batteries, just because it's cold and I like keeping the engine warm. It seems to idle nicely, even though you're not really meant to do this. But when it's so cold, and I'm 100% reliant on the engine to charge the batteries, and also the solar panel on this doesn't seem to be working at all. I'm getting nothing off the solar at all. Not that there's any sun. But yeah, I've got to keep topping the batteries up. I am 100% reliant on the batteries, and I've got no other way to charge the batteries other than start the engine or drive. And there's no difference in how fast it charges the batteries, whether you're driving or idling. Go figure. It's got a very small charger. It's only something like a maximum 40 amps, and I've not seen it hit 40 amps at all. So it takes forever to charge these batteries up. And I'm staying here another night, and I need the batteries because I'm running the diesel heater, and that uses battery, and I'm using Starlink because I have no mobile signal here, and that uses battery as well. Winter Wonderland. Oh, gosh, I love the snow. I love it when it's snowing. I don't like it when it's blizzarding. Makes for good footage, I know. But I do love it when it's snowing. If it decides to do a heavy snow dump right now, I will be very happy. Heavy, dry snow would be lovely right now. And it would be dry because it's so cold. Alright, so we'll keep fingers crossed. I'm gonna have another coffee. We'll have lunch in a bit. I've got to get through my packet meals. I haven't got any fresh food left. So I feel like biscuits and gravy. I've got one of those left and I like the biscuits and gravy. So I'm gonna have another coffee. We'll wait and see if this snow gets any heavier. I hope it does, and we'll come and check it out. It's lovely looking up at the trees. It would be nice if they got completely covered in snow. I don't think it's going to happen. I think the forecast is very light, but we'll see. You never know. I'm peeking out the window, and it seems to be coming down. Let's go and have a look, because we love the snow. I've got my coffee. Let's take it with me. Let's see what we're dealing with here. Oh. Oh. Oh yeah. Woo. It's snowing. I would say we're getting close now to proper snow. At the moment we've got, it's thin stuff. What's the temperature? The temperature is that. You see that? There. -8, -7 Celsius, it's 18 Fahrenheit. But boy, it's actually coming down. It's just thinner flakes, that's all. But look at this. This is all going to settle nicely. Settling on the truck, and I've had the engine running. It's settling on the Starlink. That's going to switch its heating on soon, because it will detect it. And it will say, oh, obstruction, and then the heating will come on and melt that all off if it hasn't already started. I can't see from here. Awesome. Well, this is what we wanted. Now I'm glad I've stayed in this spot. And I didn't leave. Because the further I go towards Anchorage, there'll be less snow. I think we're on the edge of the snowstorm here. And just think down in Whittier and Seward where I was, this will be rain. Oh, we've got snow. I love it. Oh, for my last day in the truck, my last night, we've got snow. Blessed. Absolutely blessed. Couldn't have asked for better. Ah, lovely. Oh, please come down even harder. I just want it to bucket down at this point now. I really do. Hey, we're building up the snow on the awning. This will be interesting to see how much that can cope with. I'm not sure. Those metal rods are pretty strong though. And we already know that the tent can take it. I've checked. It can take... I think the hydraulics would come down if it got to about 50 kilos. Well, I don't think we're going to get 50 kilos of fluffy white powder on there. We'll see. Awesome. Happy days. I'm very happy. I just wish I had a window I could look out at it instead of having to... I'm looking out through that top zip there. You can't see from here, but it is open. I guess you could sit in the roof tent and look out of that window there. But again, it means having it open and all the heat escaping. Look, I'm getting caked here. It's nice and cold and settling nicely. All right, we'll come back out in another hour and assess and see how much snow we've had build up. But right now, happy days. Oh, my Starlink isn't heating automatically for some reason. So I've had to put it to always heat, and I'm going to have to brush the snow off because I've suddenly got no signal. It's a bit of a pain. I don't know why it's so slow to detect there's snow on it. I can't see it, but you tell me if there's snow up there. I've put the heating on. Oh yeah, look, there's loads. So even with that 1 centimeter of snow on there, it doesn't work. Okay. So now I'm having to use extra power to keep it on all the time. Starlink not working properly. Not as advertised. Sort it out, Elon. Oh, especially if that gets heavier, I'm going to need that to work properly. They really need a scraper in the back of this thing for your feet. Okay, so Starlink heating on. We'll see how that goes. Still lightly snowing. Oh, I hope it picks up a bit. So let's see how much we've had. Oh. Okay, we've had 1 centimeter of snow. I've had the truck running, so this is all warm here. But you can see there's a couple of centimeters on the top of the tent. It's not so bad. Could do with a lot more. I want a dump of snow. Let's have something to eat. Put the kettle on. So you know how I've been talking about how rugged this jacket is? Well, what I just did there, see this sharp metal? And I just move against it, and it makes no difference. It doesn't do anything to it whatsoever. This material is so thick and strong. If I wore my Stella or something, that would tear a hole in it. That's the difference. You know what, actually, I think this gas, yeah, no use. New gas. Alright, we've got a jet boil gas which has been in there and so it's warmed. I think this ratio is 80-20. This is a 4-season performance blend. This is as well, but I think this is not 80-20. I think it's a bit less. 80-20 is the top 4-season blend, as far as I know. So this should operate much better in the cold. Should be powerful. Okay. Oh man, I really want it to dump down. I wish it would. It's very mixed. So I've been looking at reviews of this. Different owners have different things, they say different things. For my Troopy, I made a decision to go with AluCab, which is the same product this is, because they've made some enhancements to the tent. AluCab is South African. I've decided to go with that instead of the Australian Headspace. The Australian Headspace looks very nice, premium product. It's got lovely wood inlays and everything else. But you see, that goes against what I want to do with the Troopy. The Troopy is called a troop carrier. It's designed for that. It's meant to be rugged, raw. What I'm not going to try and do is turn it into some luxury item. I just not going to do it. It's not for me. I've got Buddy. If I want luxury van camps, I've got Buddy for that. So what I'm going to do is keep it rugged, raw, use camping gear in it, but have that rooftop tent, that AluCab rooftop tent. And I'll have a diesel heater in there, and that's it. I'm going to use a camp chair, camp cot, and a camp table. That's all I'm going to do in there. Hold me to it. If I start talking about doing something else, putting a build in, putting some shelves in, putting something nicer in, stop me and remind me of this video where I've said I'm going to keep it raw and rough and ready and like a troop carrier. Right, what we're going to have is biscuits and gravy. So the one thing with this hood is unless you have it zipped up fully, the hood falls forward. So you've got to keep it zipped up fully. All right, the Peak Refuel biscuits and gravy, my favorite rehydrated meal so far. I think everybody gets a little bit also, a lot of people get fed up with just cooking. These camping videos turn into a cooking video. So you could do the most arty meal. I've been guilty of that. Putting herbs and spices and chopping nicely. I've been very guilty of doing the same thing, and I'll be honest, yeah, I'd get bored of watching that as well. So yeah, I'll probably stop doing that as well. It's just going to be comfort food, easy food. Occasionally some pasta maybe, but that's about it. Let's get back to basics where possible. Of course, if I'm in Buddy, camper van, then maybe I'll do something nicer. Right, that needs to sit for 10 minutes. I'm going to put that in front of my heater. Set my timer. Hey Siri, set timer, 10 minutes. And stand and look at the snow. I know I've said it quite a few times about this jacket, this parka, but I'm telling you, there's no other jacket I would rather be in. It's like just being in a sleeping bag that's got a bivvy bag on the outside. And I think the fur looks fantastic. And it's real fur. It's lovely. And you can actually zip this off. So this fur is on a zipper here. So you can take the zip off and take this fur off and just have the hood like that. So if it's really rainy, wet snow, you can remove the fur so it doesn't get wet. And then you've just got your hardcore shell. I like having the fur on. Alright. Bring it back for some food. Oh, I'm living it. I'm living the dream. Alright, time's up. Oh yeah. And I've got a coffee here as well. Sitting under this awning, this canopy actually, I worked out this works. So I can sit here like this. I can see out. I've got the heater blowing on me. Come on. This is actually not bad at all. This canopy covers quite a big spot, quite a big area. It's giving me so many ideas for mine. Right. Peak refuel, biscuits and gravy. Bon appetit, everybody. Oh yeah. The snow is sketchy at the moment. We need it to bucket down. It's 18 Fahrenheit. Oh, that's hot. Woo. Oh. Well, I'm just going to sit here, look at my beautiful view, because it is beautiful. See you later. You never know. We might get a heavy dump. I'll be sure to bring you back for that. But right now, yeah, I'm just going to look at this snow and the trees. It's lovely. Right, it's 10 p.m. Let's go and have a look. I've been hanging out all day. I've eaten, I've had dinner. Let's just have a quick look outside. See if anything's going on out here. We haven't had any extra snow. It's stopped after that main dump. Oh, whew, it's chilly. I think it's, oh, it's a clear sky. That's why it's got cold again. Let's see what the temperature is. That temperature is 2 Fahrenheit. Okay. 2 Fahrenheit, it says something like that. I don't know, I can't make it out. 4 Fahrenheit, minus 12 Celsius. Pretty chilly. There's a little breeze as well. Oh, can't stand out here long without my sweater on. Oh, I mean, we had a centimetre, that's about it. Not a lot. And it melted a bit because I started the engine, so I've got icicles everywhere. Okay. Lovely big moon over there. Right, well, it's my bedtime. And hopefully I'm not going to be cold tonight. I'm going to put my down booties on straight away. And I'll bring you back in bed, if you know what I mean. Right, got my down booties on and my wool socks, ready for the inevitable freezer box up here, which it is. It's cold again. Still, I should say, never changes. Let's just have a look behind here. So what I'll do is angle that like that. Let's see what we're dealing with here, just to see. Okay. Yeah, so the blanket is frozen. Yeah, that's completely frozen solid. Oh man, look at that. Let's have a look here. Wow, that is a lot of ice. Holy moly. That's so much ice here. I mean, that's crazy. Where's that all gonna melt to? I mean, where's it gonna go? Oh, what's under the mattress? I don't even want to look really, but let's have a look. Oh my gosh, that is crazy. It's so cold. Oh, gosh, that's all gonna be soaking when it melts. Oh, I'm so glad I've got this pad here. I think, look at the amount of ice here. It's just not designed for these temps, it really isn't. I've got to work something out for mine. I mean, thing is, there's just no way in New Zealand I'm going to get anywhere near these consistent temperatures. I mean, it's been almost 3 weeks of this. We've had a couple of days, 3 days, where we were not as cold, not freezing. But ever since then, it's just been frigid, and we've had negative 30 Celsius, we've had negative 25 Fahrenheit. So it's not just condensation buildup, it's just freezing cold. Right, I think I've learned some important lessons here on this trip. Oh, definitely learned some important lessons. I am now much more aware of what to do and what to bring, and now I can plan properly for when I've got this myself, this type of tent, because I don't want it to freeze at all. And I think I won't have this specific problem in the Troopy because the front is over the cab. It's not as exposed. It's still exposed, and I still think it could be a problem. I've just got to work out some sort of insulation for the bottom there. and I've been thinking of wool insulation that we use in buildings and packing frozen goods in New Zealand. You can get, it's not, is it called smart wool? I can't remember what it's called, but it's a wool fiber material, and they make it in pads, blocks, and I think that would be pretty cool. That would definitely stop it getting frosty down there. I also think an interior tent would be a great idea. A quilted interior that you can clip up like an inner. I think that would help as well. I don't think AluCab make one for this tent, but I could ask them. Well, for the tent that I'm getting, for the rooftop tent that I'm getting. All right, well, this is my last night in here. I'm going to be in a proper bed tomorrow. So I'm quite excited about that. All right, everyone, unless something major happens in the middle of the night, I'll see you in the morning. Night, everybody. Good morning, everybody. It's 8:10. I had a good sleep, and the down booties did their job yet again with the wool socks. Saved me. I pulled my pad down because I've got to clear out the bedding today. It's covered in ice. Yeah, I wanted to do that just so I don't forget it, because I'm going to be packing up, cleaning up. That's my day. That's my morning. Is going to be spent just tidying, cleaning, putting everything away, and then heading off to Anchorage. Let's have a look outside before we make a cup of coffee. We're down to 42% battery. It says it's 7 Fahrenheit outside. Oh. And I could believe them. Whew, that's cold. Cool. Oh, yeah. Whew. Oh, it's extra crispy this morning. Wow. Yeah. 7. Actually, this says it's 2 Fahrenheit. Okay. Something like that. I can't really make it out. Sun hasn't lit the sky up properly yet. It's a little bit of light over there. Oh, I do love this spot. It's so peaceful, honestly. It's just so quiet. I haven't been disturbed. And it's just lovely, surrounded by these trees. This snow is super crispy crunchy this morning. Wow. Just super cold, and it's just fine, powdery stuff. Look at that. It's just powder. Oh, good old truck. What a beast. Did a great job. That's one hell of an icicle. That's from when I started the engine. Excellent. Right. Coffee. Desperate for a coffee. Let's get this coffee on. Okay. So, some things I think I need to go over. Things that I've really enjoyed about being in the van, and things that I haven't enjoyed. Let's start with what I haven't enjoyed, so that we end on a positive. I'll tell you what I haven't enjoyed. Listen to this. That heater I have not enjoyed. The reason I haven't enjoyed it is, listen to it. It's just, you got no control over it whatsoever. You can control the temperature. That's it. Nothing else. And it's this Webasto thing. It's German. The app isn't available on the New Zealand App Store, which means I have to shut down my entire account to move it to the US App Store just to get the app to control that thing. And
And even then, it still doesn't give me full control. I can't just set it on one fan low and just let it run gentle, nicely in the background. This thing just does what it wants depending on the temperature. And if I aim the fan over that way towards the thermostat, we end up on off, because that gets over hot. You end up freezing when it switches off, and then it comes on full blast again. If I aim it this way, it stays on permanently and it never gets up to temperature. I will not miss that heater. I think there are better systems out there now. I think it used to be the gold standard, these German systems, the Webasto and the, I can't remember the other one, Eba something. But we have a hybrid system in New Zealand, Heatport. A guy sort of trying to bridge between the Germans and the Chinese, the cheap Chinese stuff. He uses Korean products. And I've got a Heatport in Buddy, my camper van, and I've got a Heatport portable cube. I've got way more control with that than you do with this Webasto thing. All it's done is made me realise that how good the Heatport system really is. So I've spoken to them, going to get another Heatport system put in the Troopy. I want that control. I would never install this in a van now that I've used it. Is it powerful? Yeah. Is it hot? Definitely. Everything's great, except for the fact you just don't get enough control of it. Now maybe there's a version of it that does now have a better control, better app or whatever, but I can only go on with the experience that I've had, which is this thing. Nightmare. So loud. So constant. What else haven't I enjoyed? These Goose Gear cabinets. Just don't like them at all. They are ugly. They're awful to use. This material, they're dirt traps, like everywhere now. I've got dirt, coffee powder. I can't get this out. I need a vacuum cleaner to clean this thing out. There are bolts coming out of it, loose bolts. It's just a basic aluminium frame. It's so hideous. The drawers are jamming a bit. And these latches that they use are terrible. These things, I hate them. You gotta find the button and push it to pop it up. Look at that. No, don't like those at all. The AluCab itself, I'm not a fan of this rig. There's cold air gushing in. I don't know where it's coming from, but I'm assuming it's just because the whole thing acts like an icebox. The roof tent is just freezing. There's zero insulation up the foot end. I can't believe how they ignored that for Alaska. But the biggest problem of them all is there's no windows. I am in the dark here in a jail cell. It's crazy to me that it's set up like this, and that you can't open the doors, the gull wing doors from the inside and close them from the inside. You've got to go outside and do it. I don't like the back door setup. I don't like the fact that you've got this finicky lock mechanism and the central locking has failed. So there's quite a few things with the AluCab build I think needs work on. Why is this leaking now? Oh, I haven't put the lid on properly. Okay, well, I'll say one thing for this Goose Gear stuff. It's solid as anything. It's very tough and dependable. So if that's what you need, great. That's obviously what they were going for. But it's just flawed design. Because there's dirt everywhere now, and there's no way to get rid of it. Oh, you're right, Rand. But hang on, I haven't got to the good stuff yet. It's claustrophobic in here. Very claustrophobic. I've got to say, there's no way I would do 2 people in here. How? They've had 2 people in here. 4, apparently. I have no idea. I think the problem is this fridge is gigantic. It's an enormous fridge. It takes up such a vast amount of space It's totally overkill for what's needed. And it's just not a clever setup. There's no shelves anyway. You've got some bags here at the back. That's it. No bags on these things. So what's the point? This is all wasted dead space. I can't put anything in here. So it feels claustrophobic because I've just got stuff wedged everywhere. There's nowhere to put anything. So you don't have any clean surfaces. But yeah, the fridge, but that's on Alaska Overlander. This fridge is too big. It's crazy. And it keeps having compressor problems. So yeah, not a fan of the fridge at all. It's a ridiculously sized fridge. Yes, I'm sitting on it, but I'd rather sit in a chair. I wish these units were drawers instead of this stupid entry into the top. But that's because they've built this on the back of a ute bed and or on the back of a truck tray. So they've limited the space by doing that. It's a cheaper option. I don't think Aussies would ever do this, or Kiwis. I think they would just remove the whole of the back of the tray and build a complete whole unit, which is what this should be, really. But I can understand they want to keep the truck standard and not have to remove the rear bed. But that means you're compromised. So look, a few days in here, a week max, absolute max, yes. I've done 3 weeks in this with some breaks in some Airbnbs. I wouldn't recommend staying in here longer than a week. That's a tough ask. Maybe if you're in summer or winter or spring or something and you've got all the doors open, fine, but the mosquito mesh is loose. This won't work. It's not even sticking. You're gonna have mozzies in here in a heartbeat. There's no way this thing is sealed properly. And I've got air, cold air gushing in here. What else? Just living in the back of this thing has not been a comfortable experience at all. Just not. It's a rough and ready expedition vehicle. So as long as you focus on that, great. But don't expect any luxuries, refinement, or anything else. So if you're okay for rough and ready, it's just a tool to get to where you want, and a place to sleep, great. But if don't forget, in winter, it's long nights, short days. So you're going to be sitting in here for hours like I am. So what I'm talking about is winter. Things I like, man, it's so easy. This thing goes anywhere you want it. It's a superb vehicle. And this space is secure. I've been in a raging storm and blizzard with the tent up and been fine in here, toasty warm, absolutely fine. Correct, I couldn't look out, that's right. But I felt secure, safe, 100% safe in here because it's so solid. It's aluminium all the way around, you're protected. The rooftop tent is extremely strong. I've had it in very strong winds and honestly, it was fine. It only came down that time because I hadn't managed the snow clearing. And the snow had got wet and heavy. That's why it moved down. But you could just put a lockable handle up there, telescopic pole, and you're done. Tons of headroom. I mean, look, I'm right up here, no problem. So being able to walk around and do things is awesome. That's why a couple of shelves would be nice, just so you can stand up and do stuff and prep, so you don't always have to sit down. But the headroom, that sort of space is superb. The bed. The bed mattress is one of the most comfortable mattresses I've ever slept on. I've had some phenomenal sleeps on that thing. I have not been uncomfortable except for the cold feet. That's it. So the bed mattress that comes with these AluCabs, excellent. This whole bed is excellent. The fact it pops down, you can leave that shelf up if you want. The only issue is getting heat ducted up there. You have to leave that open, that rear deck. But that's a small thing. That's the thing where you could put a ducting pipe in here and duct it up there quite easily. Or up to here to defrost it. Other than that, yeah, honestly, I can't really fault the truck. The truck has done a great job. Tons of space in the back of the truck to store your gear. So you can store more stuff in the back there. You don't have to bring it all in here. It's just what I've done. But I do have stuff in the back of the truck as well, but it is huge in there. Definitely for 2 people, this is a squeeze, but fine. The electronics, great. I've had tons of power. That's been flawless as well. I love the outdoor lighting. I love all the options, the engine block heating, the inverter I've rarely used. In fact, I think I've only used it once. Everything I've done on 12 volt. So, yeah, all good. It's been a safe space. I've enjoyed being up in the rooftop tent when I've been up there. I think you would probably in spring and summer be up there more often with all the doors open. So that's the difference, is I'm in the middle of winter. But spring, summer, autumn, this probably feels like a very different space. Because you'll have all the gull wings open, you'll have all the doors open with the fly mesh. You'll be able to see out. You'll be able to sit outside more and have the awning out. I can't do any of that in the middle of winter, so just bear that in mind if you are renting this truck for the middle of winter. You are stuck in here. You're not going to be outside much. So yeah, I'm being a bit unfair about it being a prison cell because I'm doing it in the middle of winter. But I can only go by my experience. I think it would be fine spring and summer and autumn. I think you'd actually have pretty good time and you'd have enough space because you'd be outside more. You'd probably rarely be in here. You wouldn't cook in here or anything, you'd cook out the back. But the fridge still is too big. And I've just loved the fact that I've had confidence. This truck just goes anywhere. You slap it in 4-wheel drive. You've got to keep it in 4-wheel drive on the ice. But it just goes anywhere you point it. It's been awesome to have. I've only got stuck once, and that was my mistake. I slipped off the side of the road in a previous video, which you'll see. And yeah, that was completely my mistake. I just slid off. Because I wasn't looking where I was going, and I got towed out, luckily. Right, I'm going to enjoy my coffee. I'm going to pack everything up. We'll go for one last walk outside and then we'll head off. Right, all the bedding is squared away. Let me show you. So with the sheets off, let me show you what we've been dealing with here constantly. The foot box, the frozen foot box. Here it is. Oh man, that's gonna take some drying out. It's crazy. I mean, that's just solid. You see what I mean? It needs some sort of wool insulation pad all the way along the bottom there. Doesn't matter whether your head's at this end or your feet at this end, you're gonna get cold. Luckily I had, see, interestingly, the floor is fine, not frozen. It's the material, because it's not an insulated material. But luckily I had my booties, because it did get bad in the end, even with my pad. You see the bumps from the pad that stuck in there. Imagine if I hadn't had the pad, just how bad this would be. It would be a block of ice. Way worse than that. Just thick ice. All these buttons are frozen. These rivets all the way up are frozen. They're meant to be silver, not white or black. The awning is a bit frozen. That's okay. So yeah, this is it. The end. It was comfy though. This mattress, super comfortable. I like this a lot, very comfy. Hopefully this is what I'm getting in mine. Same sort of thing, same mattress. But for the last time, up she goes. Everything in the blue bag, all the bedding. Everything's cleaned up. I've got to just do the dishes, but I'll do that when I get to my hotel. Everything else is sorted. We can turn this heating right down.
But you still got to keep the heating on because it's just not good. Everything in here will freeze. Oh. All my bedding, I'm giving them the extra blanket that I bought for $100 from Dead Horse. I'm sure someone else will use that. I can't take it. I've got no room in my baggage for anything at all. I'm completely full. So I can't take anything because I've got international flights to take. Some things I just can't take back to New Zealand with me. I can't take that kangaroo pelt back with me. I can't take any food back with me. It's very, very strict. So the only thing that's left to do is really dismantle this Starlink, but I'm going to do that when I get back into mobile range. It would be silly to do that now. And then do all the dishes. We'll do that in Anchorage where it's a bit warmer, a bit milder. I might just take them into the hotel and wash them there. But yeah, let's pack down the tent. For the last time, I had to do all the bedding now because you can't do it with the tent down. I don't want to lift the tent up in Anchorage. So, last time, let's lower it. Alright, don the gloves. Don't attempt anything without the gloves. Got to break some of this ice off. Close this. There's a lot of ice on here. Okay. This thing, all it does is rattle. Don't get gas thing. It's going to take them a couple of days, I'd say, to defrost all of this. Tell you what, it's been an absolute beast of a thing to be in. So much more sturdy than the van that I was in last year. Just way better. Okay. Oh, they really need grab handles here. That's another silly thing. There's no handles. Okay, see how frozen this is. Oh no, it's okay, we're good. Perfect. Oh, last time I'm doing that. Great success. All right, goodbye campsite. Thank you very much. You've been an awesome spot to be in. Thank you. Superb fire there. I've had the truck running for about half an hour. And she's ready to go. All warmed up. Just got to take my thermometer off and we'll head off. Awesome. Oh, we're in this really freezing fog. It's quite spooky. I'm sure the sun will burn that off later, but we might be driving in that. Okay, let's get out of here. And we're off, finally, ready to go. Goodbye campsite and Eureka, Nelchina, the Nelchina River. So we've got 2.5 hours, it's 131 miles to Anchorage. 2.5 hours, maybe. See what the conditions are like on the way. I've got a bunch of chores I have to do once I get to Anchorage. Clean all the dishes, tidy up in there, follow their instructions that they emailed me. And then check into the hotel later, add up what the whole trip has cost me, and then let you know what that all is and what it's amounted to. So next time I see you, unless something major happens on the road, which I really hope it doesn't, and I don't think we're going to see much unless I see some animals, a moose or something like that, I'll probably see you again at the hotel. But here we are, leaving the Nelchina River, and look at this fog. Make sure all my lights are on. There we go. Look how foggy it is. Visibility is about a couple hundred meters. Hopefully everyone's got their lights on. According to this, it's 6 Fahrenheit. I think it's a little bit colder than that. Wow, this is going to be rough going if it's like this for a lot of the way. Better than snow though. Driving in blizzards is not fun. Alright everyone, unless I see some animals, some moose or something else, I've got to drive over a pass. I've got quite a way to go to Anchorage. I'm just going to focus on that. I might stop off at the Eureka Roadhouse, grab a coffee there, which in fact is what wow, I can hear the ice. Everything's frozen, my suspension, everything. Yeah, I'm going to stop off at the Eureka Roadhouse, which is just a few minutes up the road, 10 minutes up the road. Grab a coffee. And then off to Anchorage. The sun has finally made an appearance at 11 AM. Look at that view. Holy moly. We're about 100 miles out from Anchorage. Oh, I'm gonna miss this view. I really am. It's just so spectacularly beautiful. I'm not gonna miss driving on icy roads though. Just wow. I'm just pulling over here because I've just seen something absolutely fascinating. This is a lake called Long Lake. And I've just seen a truck parked on the lake.
Head toward Alaska 1 South,
Shush,
South Glen.
shush. Look, there's a truck parked there. And as I drove over the highway, I've just seen loads of tracks on this. There are car tracks, truck tracks everywhere. This is on the lake. And clearly I'm not in the biggest of the trucks because I've seen some massive ones on here. So unreal. I am driving Right now I am driving on this lake. Look at this. This is the craziest thing I have done. Wow. It's just everywhere. There are track marks, so you can drive all over this lake. Uh-oh. Of course, what you don't want to do is do it in high range. You want to be in low range with your diffs locked, which is what I need to do now. There we go, that's better. I was a bit slippy slidey there. Well, that is quite amazing. I've never seen anything like it. In the flesh, anyway. Oh. Right, I definitely want to get off here. It's deep. The snow is deeper than it looks in the middle there. That guy's obviously got chains on. And I don't have chains. So I'm not going to risk it. But I'm on the lake. Amazing. Oh well, I've driven on a lake. I really wanted to go over to the middle of it, but it's so deep. And I'm by myself. I don't have chains. And there's no way I'm risking that. Not on my last day, getting stuck on a lake. Crazy. I guess you could air right down and get away with it, but I don't even think I can turn around because this looks... As soon as I turn, let's just see what happens. I think I sink. Oh yeah, I sink. Okay. So there's a track here in the middle where it's quite deep, where they've packed down the snow. That's why you can drive out there. For all I know, that guy there in that truck is stuck. He might have got stuck out there. Because I can't see anyone around at all. So I've got a feeling he's actually stuck there. But that was quite amazing. That I actually drove on a lake. These are all firsts for me. That was, I have got to say, that was pretty cool. Okay, let's go back into high range. Oh, I tell you what, this Toyota, it's got the stupidest shifting mechanism of all time. To try and get out of low range, the thing just beeps at you and beeps at you, and it says go into neutral. So you go into neutral, it still doesn't come out. This Toyota Tundra, honestly, the dumbest system. I cannot go into high range. It just doesn't want to do it. Come on, click. Anyway, I'll bring you back when I've worked it out. Alright, we got there in the end. Wow. Quite possibly the worst transition from low range to high range in any vehicle I've ever used. That's the most finicky, annoying, and this is the problem with so much electronics, is you're completely at the mercy of whoever programmed this thing. Whereas, you know, actually I could have the same problem in the Ranger as well. Whereas in the Troopy, it's completely manual. You shift it yourself. It's all manual. You put your foot on the clutch, go in neutral, shift it, low, high, bang, you're done. You lock the hubs yourself. Everything is manual. There's no electronics involved at all. It doesn't even have wind down windows. They're manual wind down. They're not electric. So I am so looking forward to having that level of reliability. Mechanical, non-electrical. Anyway, that was fun. We went onto the lake. Got into a little bit of deeper stuff there. This thing actually, you know what? I've got to say, it's not brilliant, the four-wheel drive system on here. It's not great. I think it's got the wrong tires for deep snow, but other than that, I just think it's it's the gearbox. Isn't a great gearbox for four-wheel driving. So I don't recommend actually any truck if you want to do a lot of four-wheel driving. They are just not good at it, really. They're average. You want a purpose-built 4x4 SUV type vehicle. Trucks are too compromised because they're meant to carry heavy loads. This thing just, its four-wheel drive system is not that great. I think it wouldn't take much for it to break. So that's why I didn't want to push it there. It got bogged down straight away. Right, anyway, we're on our way again, off to Anchorage. Right, we're in Anchorage. I'm in the room. It's the next day. I'm leaving tonight. So this is it, basically. Look, I'm at the Hotel Captain Cook in Anchorage. They just announced that they announced the snowfall figures for Anchorage for January, and it set a new record. I think it was 39 inches for January. I've got gear, excuse the mess, but I've got gear absolutely everywhere. Look at all this. This is all my camping gear, my clothes, tripods, film gear, absolute works. I've got to try and fit that into 3 bags. I've ended up with some extras. But yeah, I'll get it done. So this is it basically. Now I promised to tell you in the end what my figures were. So the truck rental was $12,525 US. I spent $1,934 on fuel. And I covered a total of 2,873 miles. A long way. I'm very tired, just exhausted. Even though I've had a night here, I'm actually in here all day, and then I leave tonight at midnight to fly to LA to meet Anne. We then pick up a rental car and we drive off. But look, I've had a fantastic time. It's been a superb journey. I want to thank Alaska Overlander. They've been great. Looked after me. I just want to reiterate, I paid for everything. Nothing was, I didn't even get a discount. Everything on this trip I paid for. Nothing was gifted, nothing was sponsored. So this is all out of my own pocket. And yes, it was an expensive trip, but it was worth it. I'd say it's one of those bucket list items. I love Alaska, but I've done it now. Would I come back? Well, I've done it twice and I've spent a total of over 5 weeks here. I could come back maybe if I used it as a hop-on to go to North Canada. It's a great place. I can see mountains in the background just covered in snow. You probably can't make that out. Just snow everywhere. It's so awesome having snow when you live in a country that doesn't have much snow. So I might come back, but honestly, I've got other plans now. I need to do Europe. I've got some other things. I've got a surprise that's hopefully going to work out. I don't know. We'll see. But look, I want to thank you all for coming on this journey. I think this was the 9th video. Thanks for sticking it out. It will be normal business again, New Zealand soon. As soon as I get back. And then obviously I announced that I've got my new vehicle, the Toyota Troopy. Can't wait to pick that up. I picked that up, I think, a week after I get back to New Zealand. Very excited for that, and I will camp in it immediately, and I've got plans for that. We're going to do a lot more stuff. Holy moly, there's a massive snowblower out here. Look at this thing. I don't know where they're going, but I'm assuming these guys are going to clear a whole load of snow with these trucks, because it's just piled up so high everywhere. So yeah, lots of plans. Thanks again, everyone, for coming. Thank you to all our YouTube members, all of our Buy Me a Coffee members, everyone who's bought merch, everyone on Patreon, and all the super thanks. Thank you. Thank you for all the comments, the likes, subscribes. Please watch all of the videos and try and watch as much of them as possible, even if you have to go away and come back. I know they're long, but I produce long content. And I do all this because I love doing this. And I want to take people with me. I hope you enjoy them. But just please watch all the videos. It's been a great series. There's a lot of stuff hidden in there. So I think there's a lot for everybody in there. So again, thanks everyone for coming on this journey. Goodbye to Alaska. and see you again soon. This is Tony from AB Camping signing out. Bye, everybody.